we all have insecurities, and we need to respect that everybody's insecurities are going to be different, and regardless of what it is on the outside, because you never know what people are going through, in their own mental struggles
Yeah.
about life in general, whether that's their appearance, whether it's their job, or how much money they have, or where they want to be in life. It's like, we all have our things.
Are you tired of looking in the mirror and hating what you see? Tired of wondering if your stomach looks fat during sex, or avoiding being naked altogether because of the way you talk to yourself? Are you tired of being confident in public while secretly picking yourself apart in private? Good. That's why you're here. Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, your go-to guide to feeling confident in your body, comfortable naked, and in love with sex. I'm your host, Morgan Barkis, author, speaker, exotic dance instructor, and empowerment coach for women. I earned my master's in marriage and family therapy while stripping to pay for graduate school, and guess what? I loved the work so much, I danced for over a decade. Now I coach women who are ready to flip the negative self-talk, rewrite the stories that have kept them playing small, and finally feel powerful and sexy in their bodies. All without strict diet plans, soul-crushing workouts, or another Cosmo-style 5 tips for the best sex of your life list. This isn't positive affirmation confidence. This is confidence embodied. This podcast isn't about becoming someone new. It's about stepping into the most unapologetic, pleasure-filled version of you. If you're looking for a judgment-free space to talk about sex, beauty standards, trauma, pleasure, and power, you're in the right place. And if you're looking for sugarcoating or PG conversation, this probably isn't the show for you. Whether I'm flying solo or bringing you raw, honest conversations with powerful women, every episode is designed to help you ditch the insecurities, reclaim your body, and start living like the unapologetic woman you were meant to be. So turn up the volume, listen at 1.5 speed while you're doing other things, and strap in for this wildly unapologetic ride, because I'm a crazy driver. Where I wanted to start was how we met each other, because I don't remember when we knew each other. I have flashes of Flex Appeal. I remember you in leg warmers for some reason. I don't know if you were rocking leg warmers.
I would wear fishnets and boots.
You did that a lot. It was very pussy doll cats.
Yeah. Yeah, like pussycat doll style. Well,
yeah.
I think we first met because, how Flex Appeal started for me, I was working at Bacardi at the time.
Now, let's put a pause 1 second, though. I joined Flex Appeal, I think it was 2004, and she was in the building in South Minneapolis. Did you join when we were downtown?
Yeah. Yep. On Washington. So when was that? Probably 2008. Does that sound right?
How did you even find out?
2007. Probably 2007 or 2006, something like that.
Well, and I found the studio when she had just opened, and she had a billboard on Hennepin and Lake, I think, or whatever it was. And I saw the billboard, and at that time we had cell phones, but they weren't as techy as they are now. And so I had to find something to write it down and call later. And then I was the only person that came to a lap dance class. And it was she had very few students. And then we grew, obviously, and then moved to Washington. So I'm curious. I found out because I wanted to take a class. How did you find out about the studio?
I found out because I wanted to take a class as well. And I did.
Which one? My first class was a lap dance class.
I took a pole class for my first class. And Maria came up to me after the pole class, which is comical because she was like, "Oh, you've danced before, haven't you?" I'm like, "Well, yes, but
yes, and
but yes, but dance team, I've been a dancer since I was 3, ballet and hip hop and all, dance team, pom stuff." And in my mind, I'm like, she is talking to me after what she just saw. What is happening? Because I Had no idea what I was doing at all. I couldn't even do a spin. It took me like a month to trust myself in order to do a spin. So that's why I was like shocked. She's like, you should do teacher training. I'm like, what? After what you just saw? Oh, but then as I took classes, I got very interested in like the environment that it was just so fun, and it was just such a fun way to work out, and you didn't feel like you were working out. And so between taking a couple pole classes, I think I bought like a package or whatever, and then I took the cardio strip class that was being taught at the time, and that I could do, I felt a little bit more easily than I could with pole. But yeah, I went through teacher training. So that's how we met. Is I started going there taking classes, and then I went through teacher training, and then started teaching.
Yeah. Now the class that you created, and for the listener, this is a exotic dance and fitness studio for the everyday woman, which was now Minneapolis. I Googled just out of curiosity. I Googled pole dance studios in Minneapolis, and there are quite a few now.
I know.
Back then, I mean, Flex Appeal was the studio, and it was very well done. I mean, the vibe, everything was high quality. You walk in, and it was so girly, and it was classy. It was very, very well done. So she did a great job. And by the time you joined, the teacher training stuff was happening. Now, did you your class did you create it yourself? Because it seems unique to you, right?
I did create that class. Okay. From scratch, basically, with a teaching format in place. So at first, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know. I don't know if people are going to like this. And, it was more dance, cardio, like Pussycat Doll, hip hop kind of a class. So, I was learning as I went too, but it ended up getting, pretty popular. I ended up teaching it a couple times a week, but it was so fun. It was just such a fun environment. And like teaching that class, between teaching that class and like doing parties for women and private lessons and all of the things. Like
I miss the parties so much, and I miss, then after I left that studio, I went to Body Blast in Egan.
Me too, I was already there.
Oh, you were? Okay. Thank you for that reminder. And I'm flashing back to memories I have. Yes. When I taught pole fitness, my favorite was at Body Blast because it was just, I don't know, it was like a whole vibe. My favorite, like the parties and the community we created at Flex Appeal. Like I'm thinking about the road cruise when we were.
I know.
That was super fun for whatever radio station that was. So if we can talk about that. And then we did, one time there was sex and so much more. I don't even know. It was like some kind of convention in Minneapolis, and there was a porn star there, and we had a booth, and there were male strippers, like the Minneapolis-based like males. And so I learned moves from them because they would come up like twice a day and do a show, and that's how I learned this move I still use today. I call it the magic mic.
I love that.
It's like, anyway, I wanted to like, thinking of like favorite memories when it comes to our students, and I have two that really stick out to me. One, I was doing an exotic dance workshop, and it was 6 weeks long. So it's like quite a commitment for these women. It was like 2 hours for a Sunday for 6 weeks. And I remember one gal in particular, she came in and her clothes were kind of baggy. She had like a baggy pair of pants on and a baggy t-shirt. And what I loved, and I tell the story over and over again to women because her body didn't change in 1 week, and the next week she was wearing hot pants and a bra top, so the comfort level with, like you were saying, the like-minded women, when you feel safe and you feel like we're not judging each other and we're just here to have fun and move our body in a fun way. And it's not that because so many women are like, well, I'll do that when my body is this and I weigh that and my stomach is this and I get my boobs done or whatever it is. And it's like, no, like this gal like wore a completely different outfit in 1 week just because of how she felt being in the environment of other confident women that don't care, they're not judging each other. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Right.
Did you
Well,
experience that?
I 100% did. And I think, every class that I taught, because I think this was important for me too. I kind of gave a little bit about my background because I think people, like, even when I would teach, like the parties, you always had some people who were like, like they're looking at you like, okay, like, who is this girl? Where does she, and so I'm like, I kind of gave my background, and like one of the biggest things that I always said, no matter what class that I taught, I was like, you're here to be you. Nobody's looking at you. They're looking at themselves in the mirror, or else they're looking at me because they don't know what they're doing. So you're safe. And like the second I said that, it was like people were like, oh, yeah, okay. Like their guard lowered right away. And so that was really important because I think whatever the reason is that you're there is different for everybody, right? Like whether you're coming to a party or you want to do it for you or just see what it's about or gain confidence, like you're all there for a different reason, but you all leave taking something different away from it, of the experience. And that confidence of like, oh my gosh, I just did that. And like, that felt really good. I think no matter what class you were taking, that's really what happened. As people walked away doing something they never thought they could or would do or had the body to do or the confidence to do. And that was really special to me, like having and seeing that progress, whether it was a 6-week session, because I used to do beginner pole sessions too, or a private lesson or a group class, like you see progress and like you really, really felt like you were making a difference in people's lives and in women's lives. And that was so powerful to me. That was the best feeling, that was empowering to me that I could help women break out of their comfy zone, however they were doing that. Like, because that is important for everybody, for every woman, it was important for me when I first started. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to look like a fool, this little ballerina over here. But, like it changed me the first time that I went too. So yeah. I do remember one time I had a woman come from Wisconsin to come and do a private lesson with me. And she was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. She's like, I want to kind of do a dance for my husband, but like, I don't know. And I don't know what to wear. And we went through all of that. And I was like, well, first, let's just start on like you feeling comfortable, like moving, your body. And then like, we'll get to all of these things. And she laughed and she was like, thank you. Like, I've never experienced something like that. I've never felt the way that I felt. Like she even had questions of like, how do I initiate this? How do I, like I want to do this like sexy, fun dance for him to spice things up. But like, how do I even initiate like me doing that?
What did you tell her? What did you tell her?
Oh my God, I have to think. I have to think. I mean, I think I gave her, because I'm always one to give so many options. Like, well, you could do this or you could do it this way, because I think people have different comfort levels. But I think like, the first thing I said is, tell him earlier that day that you have a fun surprise for him. So then he's like thinking about it the entire day. Like, well, what does she have for me? Like, and then that gets his mind going. So then whatever it is, it's going to be like, there's like that buildup and anticipation of it. So yeah. I was like, send him a text or something or like tell him on the phone when he checks in or something, like, hey, I have something fun for you tonight. Like, you don't have to do anything, but like, just a heads up, just to get the mind going, you know?
That's
Like,
awesome.
and I think, like, you know, you build that tease, you know?
Yeah.
And so she did that. I remember she told me, she emailed me or something, or she came back. But, like, she said it was awesome. Like, she was like, I never thought I'd be able to do that. And like, it wasn't as intimidating as I thought. Like, I thought he was going to be judging me, or like,
I was
this
gonna
is
say it's
silly.
not the Olympics. You're not getting
Yeah.
scored.
And that's what I was saying too to her. I was like, first of all, you're going to be like looking all sexy and hot. I'm like, what about this is like, he's not thinking about where your like arms are, or where like, or if you did something wrong in a routine that he has no idea what the routine is. Like, it's just
Yeah.
you doing it. So like, you can't
Yeah.
screw up, you know? And so she was like, you're
Yeah.
right. I'm like, and I don't think he's going to be thinking, I'm going to be critiquing this. He's coming
Yeah.
from like, holy shit, like, this is amazing, you know, like, this is awesome, you know? And I think we're just so in our heads that we think everybody's judging us all the time, or everybody's, you know, we're like doing a performance where we're getting scored or graded. And it's like, well, when it comes to sex, there's no scorecard. Or like turning somebody on or doing something fun. Like,
Yeah.
that comfort level of like, this is, you know, this isn't something you're being graded on, you know, and you're just catching
Yeah.
somebody off guard. And that's so fun. Like, that's all they care about. You know, they just
Or
want to see
it's
you.
planned and it's just as great. I just put out a new free offer. It's a video and like PDF, and my podcast last week was about it. And it's that same thing. Like, I mean, unless it's your thing and you want people watching you, cool. But
Right.
otherwise, you and your intimate partner, no one else is watching. No one's judging
No,
you, giving you scores, telling you you're too fat,
no,
too skinny, too this, too that. Like,
no.
no, that's not even thought about. One of my favorite students' stories is she took my 6 week exotic dance workshop, and we always
Mm-hmm.
do performance at the last day, and everyone had to do like a 5-6 minute performance. And the funny thing is, she told her boyfriend that she was in school at the time, in college or whatever she was doing. And she's like, you remember? So one day, and I don't know how she initiated it, but she said, I did my performance for my boyfriend. And he was like, how did you learn how to dance like a stripper? And she
Yeah.
goes, remember that ceramics class I told you I was taking every Sunday?
He's like, actually, it wasn't
Yeah,
ceramic.
I love it. Well, and the first time that I met Mark is because at Body Blast, it was because his wife Terry took my pole dance workshop at Flex Appeal in downtown Minneapolis. And she said, I came in real skeptical. She's like, I've been in fitness. I know fitness. I was like, I don't even know. And she said, I'm a fairly conservative woman. So I was like very unsure. She loved it.
Yeah.
And the first time I met Mark, he's like, wait, you're Morgan? And I said, yeah. And he's like,
And he
you're
was
the
like,
Morgan. And I'm like, yes, I am. And he goes, you are the reason I have a pole in my bedroom. And he
yeah.
hugged me and he picked me up and hugged me.
Right. Well, because it's fun and it spices things up, but also it is a really good workout too. Like, I did it when I
Absolutely.
did, you know, my first pole class. I did it because I was like, I want to do a fun workout. Like, I want to do a workout where it doesn't feel like you're working out, because I'm not like a gym person. I never have been. I danced all my life, you know, like that was my
Yeah.
workout. And so I had stopped working out, I feel like, for so long in between, you know, high school and when I went to Flex Appeal. Um, but I was like, I want to do something, but I want it to be fun. And then I was like, oh, wow, like, this is more than fun. This is more than a workout. This is like a life changing aspect, like, all in one, you know? And like, I learned how to feel sexy in my own skin, Like at the time I was a Bacardi girl. So it was like, okay, I could put on like little outfits and be like, hey, here's a
Want to shop?
sample. Yeah, like, okay, great. But wearing a little outfit, that doesn't mean you're confident in your own skin as a whole, right? Like my mom would
Mm-hmm.
always say, like, just because you look a certain way on the outside doesn't mean that's good for your insides. But I think that's like in general, right? Whether that's what you're eating and you still look good or whatever it may be, but because I think when you feel sexy as a whole, it's inside and out. It's not about what you look like on the outside. It's about how you're feeling on the inside, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
I think, for so long, that is what Flex Appeal was about. That's how it started. Kind of went a different way after a while, but that's why you and I were at Body Blast, and that was that same feeling of like women are here to be healthy, whatever that healthy is for them.
Well, what I liked about it was like you're saying, you had your own transformation almost
Mm-hmm.
immediately. Like you take
Yeah.
one class and you realize, oh, I didn't know my body could do that and it could
Yeah.
look like that and it is sexy and I don't have to be a certain size to feel or look sexy. And so there was like your personal transformation. I
Yeah.
also think that because of the classes, and I'm a huge advocate, like I think every woman, not every woman, but most women should go and do a dance class. I don't care if Zumba makes you feel sexy,
Mm-hmm.
bachata, hip hop, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
dance. Like our bodies were
Yeah.
meant to move and be delighted and be
Yeah.
pleasured, however that is. So I really, and I have to admit, like at my age now, I can't do pole dance. Like I took one pole dance class, my shoulder was fucked for days. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, so
Yeah.
I've aged out of that. So
Yeah.
I have arthritis and I danced for too many years and did fitness and all the things. So it's just not in the cards. Now, can I do exotic dance? Yes, because now I'm just moving my body in a sexy way as if I was on stage without trying to hold my body weight up with one arm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so
Well, and it's
physically,
hard. It's hard.
yes, and I think physically every woman is at a different capacity. My knees aren't
Yeah.
what they used to be. So I'm not going to be down on the floor like I used to be.
Right.
So things like that. That being said, finding a way to move your body that feels sensual and sexy to you outside of the gym. And I think dance is the answer personally. But
Mm-hmm.
then I also think whether it's, again, what we did, the exotic dance and fitness, or again, bachata, Zumba, whatever floats your
Right.
boat, it's the group also because you're in a group think. And I
Yeah.
remember one of our gals, she was religious about taking my pole fitness and pole dance classes, and she was at some kind of picnic in the neighborhood or something, and she noticed that the women, she was just going up to them and talking and trying to and they seemed real standoffish and guarded. And she said, Morgan, I forget that the environment we've created at the studio, because we're all there for the same reason, we're all there to cheer each other on and kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel empowered in ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
also empower each other. Not all places are like that. Not all. And I think that that's sad. And I wish more women were a part of groups that were, whether dance classes or otherwise, where they felt empowered and not judged, because you brought that up. Because I think women, I don't know why we're trained subconsciously to judge each other. It's like women
Yeah.
walk into a room and instantly you're like judging each other.
Right.
Why do you do
Right.
that?
Like you forget that the environment that we created, not everybody was there yet because they're coming in, different, like what somebody's 15th class is somebody's first class and they haven't gotten that experience yet. But yeah, I think you're right. We are so like, I think, yes, women are judgy, but do you, and tell me if you're wrong, sometimes I feel like women are judgy because they're not comfortable with themselves,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Like,
I remember, and I honestly, I don't know if you know this. I remember a girl years ago. She's like, "Oh yeah, I took a class on." She's like, "Oh, I couldn't take that girl's class. And I said, why? And she said, because I felt bad about myself. I talk about you. And I was
Oh,
like, Emily cannot help that she's a little petite thing. Like this is not her problem. This is your problem. And I didn't say that to her.
yeah.
And it was like, oh, she's like, well, she made me feel bad about myself. Now you didn't make her feel bad about herself.
Yeah.
She
Interesting.
was comparing herself to you and
To
felt
me.
bad about herself.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, Pants, I mean, that's unfair to you. One, you're just you. I mean, you were just,
Yeah.
that's your body type.
And
And
I'm one who like celebrates everybody. Like I want everybody to succeed and like I want everybody to feel good and like I have something here. And what like I'm good at, other people aren't, and vice versa. Like which like
well,
that
like you said,
sucks
it
to
wasn't
hear.
about you. It was
No, it
about
wasn't.
her feeling bad. And
Yeah.
it was just too bad. And I think
Yeah.
about Terry when I worked for her husband, she'd be like, oh, Morgan, she's just so sexy when she dances. And he even asked her point blank, do you think Morgan is the fittest person you've ever? And she's like, no. And
Yeah.
like I wasn't.
No.
I have cellulite. I don't have a six pack. And I wasn't. I mean, I'm fit, but I'm not like bikini competition fit. And that was who she
Yeah.
was usually training. I was not that, and yet
Mhm.
she was drawn to my classes and thought I was a great teacher and I was a sexy role model for other women. But I
Yeah.
wasn't perfect the way that she was training people to go on stage to be for like fitness
Right.
competitions and bikini competitions. So it's just that
It's the
it's, it's,
mentality.
it's really, yeah, like how you carry yourself. So I was going to ask you that
It's
because
not
I know for me, when my body image stuff, I had very bad body image stuff for most of my teenagers into my 20s. And then when I started dancing, it completely shifted. So for you, you
Mhm.
seem very comfortable in yourself and in your body. Like my messaging growing up wasn't great. You couldn't be skinny enough on like from my
Yeah.
grandparents, and I had a grandma that was always like, I'm gonna give up sweets for Lent. And I'm like, well, how about you just do you? Like you're
Yeah.
always on a diet,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
so it was this constant like diet culture and you can't be skinny enough. And then
Mhm.
when I started dancing when I was 26, I couldn't believe the body shapes and everybody was making money, everybody was desirable, everybody was having fun and confident. I mean, these women thought they were
Mhm.
the queen of the world and they were so different in body types and shapes and
Mhm.
sizes and tallness and shortness and big boobs, small boobs, pointy boobs,
Yeah.
all the things. And I was like mind blown because I was like, all this time I've been chasing this perfect, what I thought was
It
perfect.
was a
And it's
perfect.
such an
Yeah.
illusion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, for you, did you ever struggle and was there a turning point?
So I think I struggled in different ways, right? Like one thing I always like to say is, and you're right, I I am petite naturally, right? Like my I have good genes, right? Like my mom is tiny and like however, like I felt guilt around that sometimes like you were saying, that woman or that girl was like I can't take it from her because like she just makes me feel bad about myself, which I wish she would have taken my class because I could have made her feel so great about herself. Um I felt, and I still do sometimes, like I know that in comparison to other people who struggle with their weight and things like that, I don't struggle as much, right? However, I think it's important that we respect, like, just because somebody weighs more than me or whatever, that doesn't mean that I'm always comfortable with my body. I know when I've gained weight. I know when I'm happy with my body and when I'm not. And there are definitely times, like you go through like ups and downs where I've gained weight and I'm not happy with the way that I look because I know that it's not where I used to be or wanted to be, or, whatever the case. Like when I've gained weight over the years and then lost it, like we're women, that's what happens. I think that's always hard for me to say because people will be like, well, look at you. will look at, like but we all have different body types, like you were saying. And so I think it's important that we respect everybody for feeling the way that they feel about their own bodies, because just because I'm built smaller, that doesn't mean that I always feel good about myself, because, when I've had surgeries and things like that, like I told you, I had preventative surgery for breast cancer. Like I gained a lot of weight and I was not happy and my body was different, like it was a big surgery and I like was bouncing back just from like it put my body through a lot, and so like just recovery wise, like, my recovery was even like 2 months of like not being able to do anything, so I think like just as we need to be like the no body shaming and all of that, we also need to be understanding. Like I can say like, you look amazing, what are you talking about? But for that person, they don't feel their best because of whatever reason, and that's okay. It doesn't matter like how much you weigh or what you look like or whatever the case. We all have insecurities, and sometimes we have them more, like sometimes those insecurities are heightened at one time or another because of what you're going through or whatever that other people notice. But I think it's important to be respectful that insecurities are insecurities for them. I will give an example like on the opposite end. My friend, Alexis. So she and I danced on dance team together. We had a friend who was on dance team and she was so skinny, and people like she ate all the time. She had a condition where she was just very skinny, and people would make fun of her and they would call her anorexic and they would call her all of these things because she was so tiny, and she felt self-conscious about her body type being that skinny. She wanted to gain weight. She tried to gain weight, but it was a condition, like it something that she had. So I think for me, it's like we all have insecurities and they can't be compared to anybody else, because what you're comfortable with and what feels good for you, or what looks good on the outside to, if when you're looking at somebody outside versus in it, that's different. And so, for me, I've always kind of felt like even when I am uncomfortable with my body or how I look or whatever, I can't really say it because I feel like people will get mad, because in comparison, right, to them, and I hope that doesn't come off as anything
No,
other
and
than
what's crazy? No, I like what you're saying about the compassion piece too, because one, it's cultural. I was
right,
talking like if you were from an African country, most of the time, if you were skinny, your family wasn't wealthy enough to feed you. Like
right,
a
right,
sign of curviness and plumpness meant you were wealthy and you actually were eating good food. So
yeah,
our culture here in the States has glorified a very skeletal body, and it seems to be coming back, which is terrifying. But
no,
whatever.
I thought we
I
were
also
moving
think
away.
you have to think about health, like you said.
Yeah,
Everybody's on a different health journey, and you may like my. I think of my friend. She unfortunately her mom passed from cancer, and her mom her entire life. And when she said this on her podcast, I was like, "Whoa!" Now there's some perspective. So not only do you have your cultural, I mean, everybody culturally, depending on where you live and, whatever family dynamics, you either skinny, fat, there's all these words that get thrown around, that good, bad, whatever. There's also health. And her mom, her entire life wanted to be skinny. And then as she was dying, she was so skinny that she was like 90 pounds or something and just literally died bones. And she told my friend, I would give anything to be healthy.
yeah,
And that weight, I fought that weight
yeah,
all those years, and I would give anything to be that weight again and be healthy. So it's like, oh my God, like we
yeah,
spend, and I try to say this sometimes in my podcast and stuff, or when I'm working with clients, Do you think on your deathbed you're going to be like, boy, I'm really glad I spent all that time stressing about every calorie and figuring out, well, how many macros to eat and spending all that money on the Botox? No, like it's all what you decide you're going to, it's just,
Yeah.
and healthy. I mean, I'm with you. I truly,
Right.
everyone kind of has a body type. And
Hmm.
if you're sleeping good, you're drinking your water, you're eating healthy, whatever your body type is, awesome. Take
Right.
care of the vessel you have
Right.
and don't waste so much time stressing about being something you're not. There was one gal
Right.
when I used to teach at a major fitness brand, and good God, the first time we got to know each other, she'd be like, Morgan, how do I get skinny?
Yeah.
And I said, tell me more about wanting to be skinny. I just want to be really
Mhm.
skinny. This girl was one of the most beautiful, her face, she was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. She was just
Yeah.
naturally gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she was short and curvy, voluptuous. She was gorgeous, and she wanted to be skinny. And I just like, I don't understand why. And I just get in here and work out. And when I was coaching classes one day, and she'd come in the evening, and she didn't like running. I don't run. I'm a power walker. Everybody's like, "Oh, are you a runner?" No, I'm not a runner. I
Mhm.
power walk my ass off,
Yeah.
and I don't run. It's against my religion. And so so she's in class and she's running and she looks miserable. Do you ever notice most people that are running look very unhappy? There's very few
Yeah.
people running that look happy. But anyway,
We agree with
she's on
you.
that treadmill and she is fighting and she doesn't want to be running. And she looks at me and she gives me a dirty look. And I said, I got off mic and I said, you're never going to be skinny, right? And that's okay. And
Well,
at
yeah.
first her stepmom looked at me like, what? And I said, girl, neither one of us want to be Victoria's Secret models. Are you trying to be a Victoria's Secret model? Because I'm not. I said, you are so perfect the way you are. Stop fighting your body. And she's like, okay.
Right.
I almost
Right.
had to like give her a slap in the face.
Right. Well, and it's like it's about being healthy and it's about
Yeah,
being
not
happy.
miserable. Don't
It's
do shit that is
yeah.
miserable to you. Take care
Right.
of your body, but don't do stuff you hate. Hey, babe.
Yeah. He's just
For the
making it.
listener, if you're not on video, there's a beautiful dog in the camera here.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And his nose is just creeping on in.
Like 2 inches from the camera.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's climbing over the couch to come over here. This is the puppy that's in the shirt.
That's awesome. Blake,
Yeah.
let's share the puppy's name. People might love your puppy
Well,
and his new
this
comfort sweater.
this is Noah, everybody. Noah is a puppy, and I
Oh,
put a sweater on him for the holidays as a joke. And I realized that he actually was more calm with it on. So now I just put him in clothes every day because, we just hope that he is going to be calm, which he's not anytime that I'm on a video call. But I think it's about being healthy, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not about being skinny, or it's about being healthy for your body type and for you. And it's about doing things that make you feel confident. Now, like whether that is Botox or working out or wearing this or wearing that,
I
do
like to
you.
tan. I know
Yeah.
we're not supposed to tan. I love a tanny bed. Give me the tanny bed, baby. I know it's not good
Do you
for
put
me.
the sticker on? Do you put the
What?
sticker on? The Playboy sticker?
No, I don't like any tan lines, Emily. I'm in there nude.
Well, yeah, obviously. Obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's like do whatever you want to make you
Yeah.
feel good about yourself, but also respect that just because you wish you could be look like that or have that, they probably wish they could have some of the things you have, whether
Yeah.
that's your confidence or your experience or your brain or
Curly
your
hair. I would love curly
yeah,
hair.
right. So it's like we all have insecurities and we need to respect that everybody's insecurities are going to be different, and regardless of what it is on the outside, because you never know what people are going through, in their own mental struggles
Yeah.
about life in general, whether that's their appearance, whether it's their job, or how much money they have, or where they want to be in life. It's like, we all have our things. And
Yeah.
it's important that we recognize that, and you can look at somebody and be like, well, look at them. They look perfect and they're always so cute and their clothes and this and that. Like, I will be the first to admit, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need somebody to like dress me these days. I'm like, I feel like I wear the same thing every day. Right. But like, they may look all put together on the outside, but that doesn't mean they're feeling that way on the inside, and it's kind of like we're always striving for perfection. And I will admit, I am one of those people. I'm so hard on myself. I am, and I've learned throughout the years, and just like, it's a lot of like, if I don't know if anybody out there has ADHD, but women and ADHD, that perfectionism is a big element, like, that I'm trying to overcome, that a lot of women with ADHD have. It's like you're trying to overcompensate. And so you're always feeling like you're not like where you should be, or you should be this, or you should be that, and so we all have these mental struggles, but and so I think, you and I were talking about this before the call today, where confidence, you don't wake up confident every single day. Sometimes you have to work at it. Like, sometimes you have to, you wake up and you're like, God, I feel like shit. I feel like nothing is going my way, and I don't look the way I want to, or I don't feel good about myself right now. Like, but you have to find little pieces. Like, when you're having those days, you have to look for little things in your life that you're like, yeah, I am doing well at this, or I am this. Like, you have some days it's not easy, but you have to work at it a little bit harder than you do maybe one day where you wake up and you're like, fuck, I can conquer the world today, right? Like,
and God damn it, I got abs today.
I'm doing everything. Like, I feel like I could just like light the world on fire. I'm doing so well. Like, we have those days, but we also have the days where we're like, feel like
the
I'm
spiral. Actually,
yeah.
I just put it, like I said, in my free offer right now. I change it because I want to speak to that spiral. Like, as soon as you get in that spiral, how to shut it down and turn it around, shut it down, turn it around, because it takes practice. And as you were talking, I was thinking, not only do you have to practice with yourself and do it every day, and some days you need to do it more than other days. It's also, in my opinion, when you start to compliment other women, instead of seeing a woman and thinking, oh, I wish I had that, or bitch, like some people, if they don't have it, then they get like almost like mean, because it's not really, but like Nikki Glazer talked to that. She said, I listened to an interview recently, and she said that oftentimes she would say something sassy or not very kind, and it was coming out of her insecurity. It wasn't about the other person.
Right.
And then she had to apologize later, because she's like, I did not mean that. I was in a bad place and I said something not kind. And so I've noticed the more women compliment other women, especially if it's something that you are envious of or really admire about another woman, it doesn't lessen you at all to say to her, girl, that looks so good on you, or your hair is so amazing, or whatever it is. Like, I try to constantly say something really great about someone else, because it's not that I'm mad, sad, or envious that she has it and I don't. It's more like, I appreciate me and I appreciate you. Yes. So it's more like just appreciating yourself and appreciating other women. And what woman doesn't like to get a compliment from another woman? Because when you get it from a woman, you're like, really? Oh, thank you. Okay.
That's what I was going to say, is I try to do the same. And I do find myself just naturally, complimenting people's like clothes. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Whatever. I think it's really important, because you're right. And like, think about how you felt when somebody compliments you, just the smallest compliment. I mean, I will get like caught off guard. I'll be like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Yes.
Wow. And I'll think about that. Like, I will think about that, it just like throughout the day, I'm like, that makes you feel so good, because again, some days we're not feeling like, the best, and what we're like, whether it's like an outfit or whatever, like, you're like, I'm wearing this again. Great. Like, you don't feel like it's anything fun and special. But when somebody says something to you, that changes. Like it changes kind of the trajectory of your day sometimes. And just a small thing like that can change somebody's, like can actually change somebody's day. And it can also make you feel better from like when you feel better from the inside, you can reflect that on the outside, and doing nice things for people makes you feel better, you know? Like
I was just thinking about that. Like when you're in service of others, it's usually if you're feeling bad, that's the first thing you should go do is like be of service. And then that usually turns that frown upside down.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If today's episode hit you in your heart and left you feeling empowered, please do me a favor and leave a review on Spotify or Apple. It helps more than you know, and it makes it easier for other women to find this show and feel less alone. And if you're feeling bold, screenshot the episode and share it on your stories or DM it to a girlfriend of yours. Getting the word out is how we grow this unapologetic movement. This podcast exists because women like you are pure magic. And feeling confident in your body isn't something you earn, it's something you decide. You can keep holding yourself back, or you can start living out loud. Dress how you want to dress, chase the dreams that light you up, prioritize your pleasure, and fully enjoy the delicious, messy, powerful experience of being a woman. Until next time, get at me in the DMs. I always love hearing from you.